This is what interested and entertained inside the mind of Liam Lyburd. The 19-year-old posted the crude American-made video as one of his favourites on a social media page. Its trigger-happy instruction on how to fire a handgun isn't illegal, but the plans Lyburd made to put what he'd seen here into action certainly were. Acting under the alter ego he called Felix Burns, Lyburd mapped out a massacre, and this was his intended target. 18,000 students attend Newcastle College. Lyburd had been expelled from here and vowed to show no mercy in his revenge.
He had in his possession what I would describe as capability and capacity to carry out serious harm. So yes, that makes him, in our eyes, a quite dangerous individual.
A smirking figure who seemed satisfied by all the attention after his arrest, Lyburd had assembled what he called a kill bag of pipe bombs, ammunition, CS gas and a handgun, ready to play out a dark scheme which the courts found was no mere fantasy. Computer forensic teams recovered a file on his laptop in which he coldly confirmed his intentions. Fantasy will become reality today for sure, he wrote. Where the mind goes, the body will follow. And yes, people will die. There's no question about that. But how did a teenager build an arsenal of weaponry alone in his bedroom? The answer lies in the dark web, where a user's computer can operate without leaving a trace.
When you use the dark web, you're running through a relay of servers which anonymizes your IP address. Nobody can see what you're looking at. Nobody can see the sites which you're accessing.
Liam Lyburd said buying a Glock pistol was as easy as buying a bar of chocolate. Does that surprise you?
Well, if you're computer savvy, well, no, is the short answer. But if you're computer savvy, or even if you're just, relatively able with computers, then it's easy. For somebody with good knowledge of computers, which I'm led to believe he has, then it really would be as simple as buying a piece of chocolate, a bar of chocolate, yes.
And our own investigation proves how straightforward it is. Using a standard search engine, we were quickly able to download a legal application, which we won't name, but that allows access to the dark web within seconds. Once there, a one-word entry, which again we won't disclose, took us to a search engine the likes of which many internet users won't have seen before, but whose prompt text alone suggests what it would be used for by some. We searched for something like Liam Lyburd would have looked for. Well, within less than 5 minutes, we're now on the dark web and looking at listings for things like homemade firearms and where to buy parts for firearms, just like Liam Lyburd did. All frightening and all astonishingly simple. So who was Liam Lyburd, and would he really have gone through with it? Sean Young went to school with him and knew Lyburd for 7 years.
It was quiet and that, really. Just didn't say a lot on that, and then he used to just come home and sit in the house all the time.
Was any of his behaviour a bit strange as far as you're concerned?
Nah, he was just a quiet kid. Just used to sit there.
One night last November, though, Lybird's plan was stopped after a tip-off to the police saw his scheme exposed, an area sealed off as bomb squad officers made the estate safe. What do you remember about that day when the bomb squad turned up?
Just everyone getting kicked out the house and that, and moved away.
When you heard who was at the centre of it, that it was Liam at the centre?
I couldn't believe it, mate. Couldn't believe it.
What comes to mind when you think of Liam Lyburd?
Mental. Mad.
No one will ever know for certain if Lyburd would have acted out his homemade atrocity. But when he was arrested, he underlined his intent, telling officers, "You've saved a lot of lives today." Greg Eastiel, ITV News.